Okay, here's where we're at so far. I've mounted the speed controller. I've actually used Velcro on top of the battery. I don't ever plan on removing the battery. I'm just going to use this one battery. I'll have to charge it, no big deal. I did have that printed plate from Silver Triple. Another shout out to Silver Triple, awesome plate, but my speed controller was a little bit too large for that plate. The screws actually touch, so it fits right in between the chassis and the chain guide. And I've got my receiver mounted back here. That's the factory location. The motor is not installed yet. I've got it all ready to go. We're just waiting on the proper size screws, which they should be here later today. You can see I've got the wheels temporarily on. I will have a piece of that in this video. We're kind of working on that right now. Shocks are installed. Battery straps are installed. I've actually wire tied them. I left them the original length. They're not cut. You can reuse these straps. They're pretty nice, and I'm fairly confident they're original. Servos obviously mounted. We got the smaller servo horn in there, and yeah, we're moving right along. The body is already painted. That'll probably be in another video. I painted that a couple of weeks ago. Still got to finish up the driver. And we do have the top plate off. I need to take some, it's pretty clean, but I'm gonna take some 4/0 steel wool to get these little lines out of there. And then, of course, the driver mounts to that. We'll plop him in there, and all this will be hidden. What else do we have? One thing I said I was missing, which I am, there's a motor holder that kind of supports the back of the motor. I looked for some 3D printed files, couldn't find anything. I don't know the exact shape. I'm not good with designing. I even looked on eBay. I think it'll be fine. Essentially just kind of holds the back up the motor just for more support, but I think we'll be okay. Hopefully. We're not gonna really bash on this. We're gonna drive it a couple times in a field, baseball diamond, and then set it up on the shelf like we have the others. Right now, we're going to work on, I've stripped these rims that you've seen in a video or this video, but I have one that has an issue. You can see it's got a bend in there, and it's kind of affecting just the look of the rim. So what I have done is I've 3D printed this, so this fits perfectly in there, right on the lip. I'm going to try to heat this up and straighten it out. I don't know if it's going to work. We will find out. Not real confident, but I thought I would give this a shot. So we're just going to take our heat gun. Look, we're on our way there now. We're going to put it in there and just smash it down and turn it. Actually helped a little bit. We got a good portion of it out. So we'll do that a few more times. Okay, moving right along. I've had this little spacer in there for about 3 days, or puck, whatever you want to call it. We'll knock it out. And we actually have the inside is nice and straight. So now all I have to do is fill this area in with some epoxy or something. You can see there's some green. I attempted to use some like modeling clay, but it didn't really seem like it was going to hold well, so I just wiped it right back off. So I'm going to take a little bit of epoxy. I'm actually going to probably put this cup back in to avoid spillage, and maybe I'll put some tape around that section so it comes right off. So let's get this back out. The other rims I've cleaned up a bit. Got as much of the glue off as I could. I actually ended up taking it to my lathe as well. I don't have a metal lathe. I have a woodworking lathe, and just put it on the chuck and just kind of just put it on the chuck and just smoothed it down a little bit. It should be good enough. We're going to let these dry for a bit, throw some primer and then some chrome paint on them. And we are not going to paint the insides. I'm going to take those off as well. And that should get those ready to go. Just leaving us with this, and then we can mount our tires. I apologize for the noise in the background. The printer is going as usual. Actually making a lightsaber mount for a buddy of mine. There. Let's throw our epoxy in there and we should be set. That will work out nicely. We're going to try to shape it a little bit. I can assure you that was a lot more fun than it probably looked. It was only about 5 minutes, but that's probably 4.5 minutes longer than I ever got to drive my original one. I do have the front Lexan off right now. I did flip this front shock around, although the instructions do state to have the bleed screw at the bottom. I don't know why, but I thought it was better suited for the top. It ran really well. I'm quite surprised. I thought maybe I would have some problems with the chain or something, but no problems at all. I do have the 3D printed wheels on there, along with the, these are the Super Gripper tires. I think these were from a Tamiya kit, if I remember correctly. I'm probably going to keep these on here, just because I may want to take it out for another romp every now and again. So I did finish the original rims and tires. They're not glued on purposely because it's a mess. They never stick. And I just thought I would just leave them for display purposes. So I may put these on eventually when I put it on the shelf. But for now, I'm just going to put these in the box. The rim that was damaged that we were kind of working on is actually this one. You can see it's not perfect, but it looks a lot better. And of course, the front rims were fine and all ready to go. So we've got those looking pretty spiffy. I could, again, mount them on the shelf and be fine with it. But we're going to leave these on for now. And this was a lot of fun. I am kind of regretful that it's complete because kind of takes the fun out of it once you complete it. So I may make a video of just showing you some of the builds that I've done outside of YouTube. I have several. I have a lot more than I've showed on here. On here we've had the 2 Porsches. One was not restoration, but just an intro. I have a Mini Z. I don't think I ever put that on here. I obviously have the Samurai, the Big Bear, and I think that's all we have. I don't remember. I'll have to go back. Getting old sucks, folks. So, but there will be some more eventually. I would like to get maybe an original RC10 or a 40th anniversary, whatever it is. I did have one of those. And then maybe an Optima Mid, a Kyosho, which those will probably be new kits. Not a lot to see there. It's these old kits that I really like. And this is the holy grail for me. A little bit of a rewind before we end the video. A couple things. I may or may not have mentioned it earlier in the video, but the rims, the 3D printed rims, those were from Thingiverse, and I think they have them on Bamboo Studio. Again, that's another design by Silver Triple. Awesome, awesome designer. I will have a link to his pages, as I have on some of my other videos, to where you can get his prints. Excellent work. Compared, now these are a little bit larger because we're using a different tire, so you can't find these Samurai tires anymore. Second thing, I know why the bleed screw's on the bottom, because it hits the body. So that was not an error. That was intentional by Marui, or Maru, however you want to say it. So we're going to flip that right back around. When I was driving it, I hadn't changed it yet. And I thought, well, I'll just change it when I get home and I'll put it on the shelf and it will be done. Well, there's a reason for everything. So I should have left well enough alone. I should not have questioned the instructions. Should have known there was a reason for it. And there was, because that screw definitely hits that body. And that will be a problem. And I noticed it because when I went to set it down, the one side didn't go down all the way. Like, what is going on? And I quickly realized, and I don't want to mess up that new paint job. Another thing I need to mention is the color. So this is as close of a color as I could find to what it calls for in the manual. And I think I may have scoured the internet, but this is Tamiya PS15, which is metallic red. So that is the color you see there, and it looks to be a perfect match to what they were going for with this kit. Could be wrong. As a kid, I think my dad, and I've told this story, some of this story several times about him trying to build it before Christmas. It seems like it was painted, but I think it was with a brush, and I think it was on the outside of the body. Yeah, so I did not have good experience with this kit, clearly. So that was what I got for Christmas that year. That was the only thing, because we weren't rich, and this was probably pretty expensive even back then. There we go, that's better. So needless to say, I had a Christmas gift that I never really got to enjoy. Okay, this is like the third ending I've made to this video. You saw the wheels and tires that I used for the baseball diamond. You've seen the wheels that I've refinished. We have some new wheels. These are aluminum. I got these on eBay. No sponsor or anything like that, but this is where I got them from, and they look amazing. They're the exact size as the original, and they look awesome. I mean, I didn't do too bad of a job on these, but these are what it's all about. And they have these ridges, in there where the tire will mount to. I do not have these glued on. I'm not going to drive it with these on, but I am going to put them on and put it on display. So off with the old and on with the new. These just came in today. I ordered them, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. They took a bit. I think they came from Hong Kong somewhere. I don't recall exactly, but much better than I anticipated. They are nice. There we go. There we go. That looks really good. I don't know if I've actually showed the car. I believe I did, but it's a little dirty from... I did clean it up, but it is a little dirty. But the guy, we've got him all nice and painted. Obviously, we've got the Lexan painted. God, I can't speak today. And we've got all the decals on. So that's going to wrap it up. Again, that's what it looks like. Looks amazing. If you have any questions or comments, post those below. Any of the tools that I use in this video, I'll try to create an Amazon affiliate link. I already have a link, but maybe I'll put something to each of the tools we use. And as always, thanks for watching.